So let's have a conversation about credit repair. Here in 2023 and beyond, does it still work? Are there legitimate companies out there? What is it you should expect? What are some of the tactics these companies are using? What are some of the costs? And is it the most effective way to go about rebuilding your credit? We're going to cover as much of that as we can in this video. This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity, helping you to increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your blueprint for prosperity. So in this video, I want to cover credit repair. I want to cover it on a relatively deep dive from personal firsthand experience, professional experience, and data points that are out there, just in general about credit repair and your FICO credit score and how you need to understand what credit repair typically is, what it's intended to be, how it's, spawned out and grown out over the years into this whole other beast of an industry now, and how you need to be careful about how you navigate it if you're going to play in it. Credit repair is typically built around the idea that there is incongruent, inaccurate, or erroneous information on your credit report that is weighing down your credit score. That is the foundation of the concept of credit repair. It's intended to provide a service for people who have, fake or incorrect or, like I said, erroneous information on their credit report that they need to get off in order to allow their credit report to be in a healthy place that it's supposed to be in. And they provide this service by knowing all of the rules and laws and communicating with the bureaus, communicating with the creditors and lenders, and getting this information removed or brushed up properly. That's the foundation of credit repairs. Nothing more than that in its roots and its foundation. What it has grown into today is a little bit of a mini beast of an industry. And the reason for that is because so many millions of people are out there on an annual basis that, go through hardship, go through hard times. And you also have a legitimate base of people who experience authentically, incorrect or information or fraud or erroneous information on their credit report. And these two buckets of people make a huge industry to be serviced, and a lot of money to be made. And unfortunately, when that's the case, there's going to be sharks out there in the water. It just is what it is. Credit repair is a legitimate practice in our financial marketplace. To answer that question, it is a legitimate practice. The problem with credit repair is that, unfortunately, like any other industry for the most part, is up until recent times, it has not been that well regulated. And there's so much money to be made because so many people already don't understand finances generally. And it gets even more complex for them when their finances fall apart or go through hard times. So people get desperate. I mean, let's be honest. I've shot dozens of videos around this topic. Credit is the lifeblood of your finances in the Western society, and especially in America. You can have, unless you have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in cash, you are likely highly dependent on credit for a lot of daily activities and basic functions. And that's not even getting into the depth of building wealth. You almost can't build wealth without credit. It's extremely hard to do, and it's going to probably take you forever. So credit is very important. And when you start talking about hardships, collapses, whatever the case may be, or a legitimate fraud where your identity's been hacked and, accounts have been opened in your name and closed out or whatever the case may be, damaging your financial reputation, it can be, catastrophic in your life, and it can force you to panic. There's such a great marketing. There's so many different schemes out there that are preying on this in the credit repair industry. This is one of the reasons in the last 3 to 5 years, regulation has picked up in the credit repair industry because it's just gotten out of control. So to answer your question, there are legitimate companies that exist that do this for you. It is almost always a paid service. You can repair your own credit, and there's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of gurus and content creators that put out templates and all these different kits and stuff to help you do it yourself. It does exist. The reality of the situation is it may not be as effective if you don't know enough information about the process. This is why these other credit repair companies exist, to provide the service. There are some legitimate ones out there, and you do your best, if you're going to go this route, to Google them and look for, better business bureau rated companies and other, signals and identifiers that they're legitimate, credible, and responsible companies. They do exist, but in theory, credit repair may not necessarily be the answer for you. And I'm gonna give you a couple quick rundowns reasons why. Number one, credit repair is oftentimes expensive and typically can be time consuming. Many credit repair companies are gonna market to you and prey on you with this idea that you can make months or years worth of mistakes and get it cleaned up in days or weeks. And FICO lays this out on their website. And I'm telling you from professional and personal experience with credit as a financial professional, and as a person who's been through hardship in their finances in the past and had to build from scratch, it's not that simple in the vast majority of cases. There are nuances, there are little exceptions to the rule. There are people out there who hire companies, gotten results overnight, and have been able to build out from that point on. But the vast majority of the time, it's very expensive, very time consuming. Those two reasons alone are why you want to consider heavily if you even want to go this route, depending on what your personal circumstances are with your needs with credit repair. If you have late payments, if you have collections, if you have charge-offs, you have a bankruptcy, whatever the case may be, you have public records, you have tax liens, child support, whatever the case may be, you may want to start off by doing your due diligence on how long these liens last on your credit report, which I'm probably going to film a whole video around. And you may want to consider your financial position. The likelihood is if you've defaulted on anything or you're struggling with late payments, charge-off, like you have that kind of stuff going on your credit report, you probably don't have access to a lot of cash, because if you did, you probably wouldn't have defaulted on your bills. If that's the case, that means you're going to be hustling up hard-earned money and trusting some company to go out there and save the day when it comes to your credit report, and that they're going to do it in the time frame that they marketed to you, and they're going to do it efficiently and simplistically as they market it to you. And the vast majority, well over 50% of the time, is not the case. For one, the process of finding a legitimate credit repair company is not easy. They exist. You can do your research, but it is not an easy job. Once you find a legitimate credit repair company, finding one that actually gets the job done efficiently and effectively without all the extras is a whole nother beast, because you have a lot of credit repair companies that will do way more harm than good by claiming fraud on your identity that's not really there, by messing up your personal information with the credit bureaus, trying to create inaccuracies so that this stuff can get removed, and all kind of other craziness that can actually weigh you down and hold you back even worse than just letting those negative items age and fall off. It's the God's honest truth. You have to start off by doing your due diligence. How capable are you of removing things off of your own credit by sending your own letters out or communicating with lenders and creditors yourself? You will be astonished what you can accomplish trying this on your own. You can repair your own credit, or at least reduce or mitigate some of the damage done from late payments or charge-offs, just by knowing the right verbiage, knowing how to approach these companies, and communicating yourself. There are goodwill letters and goodwill attempts you can make with companies with active accounts that have late payments to work on getting those removed. You can also work with collections by settling on that debt and at least showing it is paid off, or you can make an attempt to try to get it removed yourself with letters. The same thing goes for charge-offs. Most of these things last 7 years on your report. There's exceptions, with like maybe tax liens and stuff like that can last up to 10 years. There's certain items that can last up to 10 years. So 7 to 10 years is your window of time. It sounds like an eternity when you have tanked your credit. I get it. I've been there. But the reality is that by the time you pay a credit repair company and they do what they claim they're going to do, you could look up and it'd be years regardless. And the difference, it could be hundreds or thousands of dollars in the process. Most of these credit repair companies are incentivized to drag their feet if they have you on some kind of monthly plan, because they're just getting paid no matter the results over that time frame. The next thing is, if you have one of these companies that promises 90-day, 30-day, 90-day, 6-month guarantees, and they take these lump sums of money, then you have a different scenario where you are putting out thousands of dollars in most cases, or payment plans for big upper 3 figures to have them get this job done for you. And no, they say they guarantee it, but there's usually not a guarantee of results. I'm telling you, there's not. And they tell you they're going to refund your money, and you watch how fast that gets done. You just watch how fast that gets done. These companies are holding on to this money and trying to scale up and grow their business with those deposits. They are, in most cases, are not going to be in a rush to give that money back to you. So before you tie your money up in this process and take the risk of not even getting a return on that money, you need to evaluate your ability to do this yourself, work with your creditors or lenders yourself, or do your own credit repair with free templates that are available online. If you're willing to take the gumption and a little bit of effort, you can even do your research on laws around credit repair so you can be a little better equipped of what you have the legal right to contest and how to contest it. You also can pay attorneys for this type of work. At least you'll have a better chance of knowing they're legitimate in their fields. It's not as easy to tell with credit repair companies, but if you go to, pull up an attorney online or go to a local one in your area, some of them provide this service and can do it at reasonable prices and do it legally by the legal standards without doing all kind of crazy, illegal or immoral things to your credit report trying to get it, fixed. The next thing you need to figure out is the money you're going to take to do this process. Is it just worth letting that negative information age and taking that money and that effort and just building out a new credit profile on top of it? It may sound like it's not going to work because most of us get addicted to the idea of immediate results. And you have to take your lick. But I'm just going to have to be honest with you. You got to take your lick. If you went through a hardship or something bad happened to you and you tanked your credit, you got late payments or charge off, whatever it is, collections, you may have to consider just allowing them to age out. And that 5-7 year window is what you're going to have to use to just build out a new credit profile, educate yourself and build out a new credit profile on top of it. It's doable. I'm professional and personal experience with building a healthy credit profile on top of negative items that once existed. It takes time, but it does work. After about 2 to 4 years, these negative items start to have less of an effect. And after that 4-year mark, they really start to get out of the way. They will always keep your score down as long as they're on your report, but they can get out of your way of getting approved for mortgage loans and auto loans and credit cards, because they start to go far enough in the past where these underwriting standards, whether manual or automated, detect them, but they may be able to detect them being so old that it's just kind of looking, as long as your credit report, your recent credit report and profile is healthy and robust, meaning you've built on top of it. So you can start to outweigh those negatives as they age out, and it could actually be much more effective than taking the thousands of dollars, trusting some random company to go out and sweep all of the stuff off of your report. And who knows what damage they do to your credit report in the process doing so. There are horror stories out there. I have personal experience with a credit repair company that literally destroyed my personal information on my credit report years ago, trying to create inaccuracies to get stuff removed off. And what happened is that the credit bureaus took that shift in information and kept it on my file. So when I did try to establish new credit with healthy institutions and build healthy accounts, they couldn't connect to my credit report because they're getting my legitimate date of birth or name and address, and the credit bureaus have a totally different set of information. So it's so much more damage than good. It may feel like the world is collapsing around you, but I am desperately imploring and urging many of you to consider doing your own legwork or just focusing on building on top of it. Because I'm telling you now, you can end up losing 2 or 3 years playing around with the wrong credit repair company. Some of you can experience legal issues playing with the wrong credit repair company. Some of you can get your money swindled from you. The list goes on. Most of these credit repair companies that are out there are not legitimate. If they are legitimate, they don't do a good job. If they do a good job, they take forever. The likelihood of finding a company that does the job effectively, reasonable price, and does it in the window of time that they promise you and doesn't destroy your back end of your financial information in the process is slim. It's very slim. You can waste months just trying to find that company. Take your initial money at least and consider building out your financial profile. Get a couple secured credit cards, a couple secured personal loans. Just get 2 to 4 of those with a quality institution. Start there and just build on top of it. And do your research in the process. Maybe you find a legitimate credit repair company, or again, find an attorney who does that kind of work. Put more capital together to have them try it. But at least during this time frame of getting this trial and error that you're gonna go through in most cases, you're building positive history. Trust me, after 2 to 4 years or so, you start to get back into the field of play. You're not going to get the best rates. You're not going to get the best terms. That's only fair. But now you want to put yourself in a position, time's going to pass anyway. Money's going to pass out of your hands anyway. Put it to good use. Even if everything gets effectively swept off your credit report, you still have to build a new credit profile with trade lines anyway. You do all that to get all that swept off your credit report, and you still don't have any positive trade lines on your account. You're still not going to have a good credit score. You're still not going to get approved for anything. So you need to do this the right way. Make your primary focus what you can do for yourself first, and how can I just take the money that I have, if I have it, instead of giving $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to some credit repair company or hundreds of dollars a month. Let me just take that same money and go get a few secure credit cards, a few secure personal loans, build out strong payment history and proper usage with great institutions that you can scale up into unsecured credit and build a healthy profile. Your credit report's not the only thing that gets you approved. If you start within a relationship with a quality institution and they have that internal data on you, even if your credit report isn't the best, they may still approve you and allow you to graduate to unsecured credit. And once they start to trust you, other institutions will start to dip their toe in the water as well. All while these negative items are aging off without stressing you out and aging you out and running through your pockets trying to try a credit repair company after credit repair company. So I wanted to bring this to you because, again, not all of it is legal. If it's legal, it might not be moral or ethical, rather. And if it is, it's going to take forever. Or if it's not going to take forever, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. If it's not going to do that, it could ruin your personal information with the credit bureaus, which is hell to fix. It could be more trouble than it's worth. I know it seems like the world could be collapsing if you are in that situation, but I'm telling you right now, do your due diligence and heavily consider if it's even worth dealing with the credit repair company, because it could cost you more than it benefits you. The return on investment just might not be there. I'm probably going to shoot a more in-depth video that covers how long negative items last on your report, and just other tactics to help empower you to do your own credit repair, and strategies to help you start building a healthy credit profile on top. I've already filmed those types of videos. You can find those on my channel. So as always, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I enjoy bringing you this content. I want to see you guys empowered on your path to prosperity. And I don't want you wasting your time and your money with these great marketing ploys and schemes that you're seeing on the internet and social media promising you the world. I promise you, if it was that simple, almost nobody would have bad financials or poor credit. It's not. So please try not to fall for that trap. Put your hard-earned money and invest it in yourself and trust yourself. Don't always go out here running and trying to trust some random company with great marketing. I'm telling you, you're going to end up burned if you're not careful. This is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity checking out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, I want y'all to stay focused, stay in motion. See y'all soon.